Hello and welcome to this how-to video from the Blue Prism University. My name is Leona Vanderhoff and this is a short how-to video on using the Interact Form date capture type and restricting what the user can input into it. We will concentrate on the different date fields, but primarily the configuration of allow dates with past and future date restrictions, thus restricting the format and the window of what the user can enter in a date field. We will create a rule to insert a submission for double checking and an additional approval, and then we'll take a quick peek at how it looks from a form user's perspective. Let's create a date field. Let's add a date of birth to this form. Date of births can only be in the past, but to avoid any data entry errors, we won't accept dates past 100 years. I will select the date format. It has three options: US, UK or international. I'm going for the UK option. The allow dates will control whether the dates entered are any date, those that occurred in the past, or future dates. We use past future options in combination with the past date and future date restriction values. So for this example, we're only going to accept dates in the past and not accept dates for births that have not yet occurred. And according to my business rule, I'm going to specify the past date restriction as to only accept dates from the last 100 years, and that value is expressed as the number of days. The initial value field is where I can give the user a default date for them to override. And this is quite a good idea as it will visually remind them of the format of the date that they will need to use. And along that, I'm going to use today minus with 365. So the default value is a year ago from today's date. But do note, this is not a restriction. This is just specifying a default value for the user to overwrite. Now let's see how it looks on the form. Note, the default value is a year ago from today's date. But again, this is useful to use this field because it gives me a visual reminder as to how to enter my date. I can either select a date directly from the calendar, even those dates after the initial value I specified. In this case, I want to enter my date of birth. To save myself the many clicks, I'm going to enter my birth directly into the field. I've made a mistake that falls outside the past date restriction and it will not accept the values, so I correct the date so it's within the last 100 years and carry on with my form completion. We did not use the placeholder field in our previous example. This is not a restriction per se, but it's useful when you may want to use some text to prompt your user in the date field as I am here. Let's remind ourselves of what we've done so far in the date field. We have restricted the dates for only those in the past 100 years and supplied either an initial value or a placeholder text to prompt the user. But there is still scope for the user to put an incorrect date. But who are we to know what is a correct date of birth? But what we can do is create a rule. So for any date that might not look quite right, we can insert it back into the human in the loop process for further approval. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more about Interact or any other Blue Prism Interact feature, or any of our other Blue Prism products, please visit the Blue Prism University via the link in the description below. Also visit the Blue Prism University community pages to get support from other members and participate in various discussions, also in the link in the description below.